So, looking at the Eagles with the trade deadline coming up, do you see any need like for this team, whether it be a veteran free agent signing or making a trade before the deadline?
I'm looking at the defensive line. Carolina's selling some stuff. Now Brian Birds is a younger member on that team, so I don't think they're like open doors with him. But I do
Yeah.
believe that, when a new coach or a new GM, when there's a new regime, they like to remake their team to their liking. So Brian Burns is someone I'm looking at. I think defensive line, we could get more depth there. We still never replaced Derek Barnett. Not
Right.
saying he's much, but we went into the season with him on our roster, and he's
Right.
not there. And honestly, besides the Carson Wentz 9-sack game, I don't think the defensive line has lived
Mm-mm.
up to its potential. I think what's making the D line look better is that secondary. So I'm looking
Mhm.
at adding some defensive ends.
Because even during the game against the Cowboys, like it was so many times where Cooper Rush just had just a little too much time for me. And I'm like, why are we getting his face on the ground? Why are we sacking? Like, I don't even think we got one sack, did we?
Nope. BG did get the big time hit that led to the CJ Garner Johnson interception, but no sacks.
And that's like so, Like, again, that game against Carson Wentz, yeah, we was a sack machine, but I don't know. I feel like going down the stretch, like you said, that's gonna be something that we need that pressure up front, like consistently.
Big time, yeah. And they both go hand in hand. You get a more of a pass rush. That secondary is already lethal. Give them a
Right.
pass rush and oh my goodness, good luck.
But you talk about the defensive line. Do you have any concern about the depth at safety? Only because before the season started, before we got CJ, I was like, we need some safety help. We need some safety help. But I was, cool without because I mean, you can't have everything. I thought you could have everything, but we got everything now. But I'm like, the defensive line strong, linebacker core revamped strong, cornerback room revamped strong. Like it's okay to not be 100% at safety. You know what I mean? Then we got CJ Gardner Johnson, and just seeing like how crazy, like the secondary as a whole, the defense as a whole has changed so much with the presence of CJ Gardner Johnson. When he went out in that game against the Cowboys, it was a whole different vibe. And that scared me. And that's why I'm like, not even necessarily right now before the trade deadline, but definitely this offseason going into the draft, I feel like safety got to be one of our priorities.
Yeah, man. I thought we had one in Kevon Wallace when he was drafted out of Clemson. But he's just been all talk, no bite. Yeah, the safety position, if one of our guys will go down, Epps or CJ Gardner Johnson, it's shaky. I don't understand why we got rid of Anthony Harris. Like, was he great? No. Is he better than Kevon Wallace? Yes. And so I don't know why he couldn't have made the roster as that third guy, that rotational piece, or the guy that comes in if there's an injury.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Because, yeah, he was better than Kevon Wallace. I don't know, because it was kind of strange the way he just got released. Once we released him, I knew, like, something was on the horizon safety-wise. I didn't know what or who we were getting because I don't think Tyrann Mathieu was signed at that point. But I'm like, okay, we're getting a safety at some point. But, yeah, this Kevon Wallace entering the game just really killed my mood. And the fact that it's only week 6 and like we have such a long season ahead of us if we try to go into a postseason run, I'm just like, I need CJ Gardner Johnson healthy because the man has been literally a godsend this season. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the New Orleans Saints, man. Right now, they helping us this year and next year.
Right.
The 4th overall pick so far. And I looked at their schedule. I mean, the Bucks, that's not going to be easy. The
Mm-mm.
Niners, that's not going to be easy. Browns, not going to be easy. Who else they played?
Falcons probably beat him the second time.
Falcons was close last time. The Ravens they play, the Raiders are still decent enough to get them. So I'm thinking that, when it's all said and done, a top 5 pick is looking more realistic. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think people don't understand, like, because it's so many haters we got right now. Like, and I don't think people understand, like, so many people keep saying, oh, y'all can be a first round exit, second round exit, whatever. I don't think people understand that this is not a team that's just built to win this season. Like, we are so young. We have so many assets in the near future, draft assets. I mean, the money got to get paid to keep this team. But these guys are so young. Our window is a couple of years. It's not just this is a year we caught lightning in a bottle. We just so happen to be 6-0. No, we have the talent and we have young talent. Like, we're building for the future. So it ain't even just about this season. Yeah, it'll be awesome, of course, to win this season, but I'm not going to feel down at all if this team does not win a Super Bowl or even win the NFC Championship game. We're winning in the near future. Like, we have so many assets, so many young dogs on this team. Like, y'all gonna have to be worried about us for a couple of years now, not just week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, or whenever y'all got us on the schedule. We're here to stay.
Yeah. How do you feel about the 1-year players, the James Bradberry, TJ Edwards, Marcus Epps, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Kaiser White? I mean, that's the thing. Like, you're talking about a window, and I agree. And when you look at these guys, Bradberry's the oldest. He's 29, turning 30. But I still think the way he's playing now, he at least got 2 solid years in him. So I'm thinking that if you can end up getting these guys back, the shortest signing should be a 2-year deal, and that at least gives you a 2-year window.
Yeah,
not including this year, so that would be a 3-year window. And I think the Eagles got to get some type of secondary in the upcoming drafts. So say you got Bradberry and Slay for 2 to 3 more years. Well, then you got to be grooming your next 2 cornerbacks. You got to be figuring out a free agent guy to bring in and or draft a guy in the early rounds, not no 4th round. We'll see what Zach McPherson can be. But again, the way we're going to have money, and I do not want to throw this away in the sense that, like, we're talking about, signing somebody or trading for somebody at the trade deadline. That is all cool. But right now, the Eagles are 6-0. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
Right.
Can we get more depth? Of course. However, I'm worried about making sure we get the guys that are on 1-year deals back before I even look at any other team or any other player.